Well, the challenge of creating an original and satisfying musical career is one that Daniel and Amy Carwile have met successfully for years. This husband and wife duo is accomplished on instruments ranging from the fiddle to the bouzouki, and their repertoire includes every style from bluegrass to swing. Audiences across the world have enjoyed their dynamic acoustic performances.
My dad was actually in a bluegrass band. He played mandolin, and they would rehearse at the house regularly, weekly, and I would sit there and observe the jams at the age of 3. And I really think that was where the early influence came from, was just being around bluegrass at that point. And I actually, according to my mom, I do not remember this part, but I actually had a toy fiddle that was really a plastic guitar with a stick out of the yard that I would run around the house, you know, acting like I was playing.
It was family tradition. We'd gather around the TV and watch Hee Haw every week. So my family's watching that, and my sister's seeing Roy Clark play the fiddle, and she goes, "Hey Mom, I think I want to do that." And so my middle sister started taking lessons, and then it was kind of a domino effect. My oldest sister started playing, then I started playing, and then my younger brother started playing. And so when we could all agree on what song to play, we'd play as the Gillum family fiddlers, and we'd play at Grange halls and nursing homes and church, just anywhere we could play. We met at a fiddle contest, believe it or not. At the National Old Time Fiddlers Contest in Weiser, Idaho. I had been going to the competition for 20 years with my family, and Daniel had been a few times, but we always kind of missed each other. And then a while back he judged the contest, and we ended up meeting and talking, and we're amazed that we grew up, you know, on different sides of the country, doing the same thing. We were currently doing the same thing, teaching private music lessons, and it was just incredible, everything that we had in common.
Lots of times, two teachers will present the same concept, but their presentation is different, but the result is the same.
We have several students that'll take from each of us, you know, just to get a different perspective. So that's fun, to be able to bounce students back and forth. I enjoy working with kids, so the 8 and under crowd I get more of, and Daniel teaches more of the adults.
I think she has more patience with the younger kids. I love working with the younger kids, but it takes a special temperament and personality to work with a child that's 4 or 5. We sort of target, Amy works with kids that are 8 and under, and I work with kids, adult kids as well, older than 8.
Let's go ahead. A lot of the music I teach is traditional music, you know, a lot originating from this region of Kentucky, and it's great that that music that is, you know, years and years old is appealing to, I've taught students as old as 80. It's appealing to the 80-year-olds. It's appealing to the 3-year-old.
I think that's fascinating. That it's like, what is that intrinsic quality that turns an 80-year-old on, or turns a 3-year-old on, or a 4-year-old, for crying out loud? Amy teaches students from various different ethnic backgrounds. I think it's wonderful to see kids that are one generation removed from a different country playing American fiddle tunes written by Kentucky fiddlers, or an Arkansas fiddler, or Virginia fiddler. Sometimes I'll walk through and she's teaching you know, some kids some tune, and I just start whistling. It's a great tune, and they come out of the room, and it's, you know, some child from Japan or India or something. I just think it's wonderful because, again, it teases out that ultimate question of what is it about this music that's luring, appealing, that makes you want to whistle?
From the teaching perspective, I think it's great to hit on each style. I like to present it to students as, I'm going to teach you to play this instrument, whether it's, you know, bluegrass, classical, Celtic. So then my hope is to expose them to all of this, and then if they feel passionate about one particular area, you know, we can run with that, but at least they've tasted a little bit of this and tasted a little bit of that.
Yeah, I think you're planting a seed. You're planting an old-time seed, a Celtic seed, a bluegrass seed, and that's really all you really can do as a teacher. I mean, you can tease out, you can till that seed, you can water that seed, and you can go, but I really want my students to be exposed to all kinds of music, because I feel like through their exposure to lots of different styles, they'll appreciate music as a whole, all that that word embodies, much more fully. What blows me away and bothers me, troubles me, is that jazz in the 30s was America's music. They sold more records than any other genre of music. And now you look at the current state of music in America and what people are buying at the mall or Walmart. It's like, what's happened, man? Because here was this level of sophistication, here was this groove, and people were dancing, having a great time to some of the best players. I mean, think about it. On the bandstand in the big band era, how many wonderful virtuoso players were on that bandstand. And it was American, for crying out loud. That's what's so beautiful about it. And here we are now listening to, I'm not going to get any specific name of the artist, but you know what I mean. What happened? What happened? I think, honestly, playing in old age is just as important as playing when you're a youth, when you're young. It's probably more important on just a cognitive level. I really think playing in your 70s and your 80s, it helps you keep your cognitive functioning engaged, that along with reading and that kind of thing. Because when you're playing a musical instrument, I mean, there's so many tiers of consciousness, so many levels of thought going on. I think a lot of people in old age, they struggle with what am I going to do today? And I hope when I'm 80 that I'm not just sitting on the couch watching TV or playing bingo. You don't need to put that on there, sorry.
Passing on to their students the diversity of America's musical heritage and their passion for it is an important part of Daniel and Amy's mission and career.